Still going. Slowly. Eventually. Only my fourth. Only my fourth. There's one of Asahi, 3 cans of Foster's. I don't know why I have to check. I wish it bloody Foster's. Yeah. Yeah. So the Ubisoft conference just finished. I think it must be getting. It's either the games are getting more and more boring, or they're starting to repeat themselves, because that is the entirety of the notes. Considering Microsoft was 3 pages, EA was 2. This is just double-sided. It's either I'm getting lax or they're starting to repeat themselves. I'm thinking of the latter rather than anything else. Which is really quite crap for me, because I'm reporting on this stuff, and if they're repeating themselves... Well, it's Sony next. Yeah, it's Sony next. The only thing we know from Sony is from the EA conference, where they're saying, look, we have the Hardline beta. And that's it. This is going to take a while. Anyway, let's have a look what happened with the thing. Yeah, they start off with Far Cry 4. Good start. You get welcomed by the bad guy. Everyone was saying he's the bad guy, who seems... Because everyone made a big thing about the bad guy, or the picture of the... when they first released the picture of the bad guy, with him sitting on the throne with a hand on the hand of the native. Is that correct term? Fuck it. Hand on the thing. They're saying, racism, racism. Is it me, or did his skin seem slightly darker in this iteration, in the iteration that was at E3, rather than the picture where he just looked like an albino? Probably just me. Or the lighting system, or the fact that they shat themselves that they're being called racists. But that would be cynical of me. Yeah, so Far Cry 4 seems interesting. Far Cry 3 was interesting, and it's basically the same thing, but in the Himalayas and mountains and more guns, so... Yeah, can't really complain. Far Cry usually looks great. It's quite a decent series. Oh yeah. I was about to say, what the hell does that mean? My scribbles being illegible again, but it's the Ubisoft had the usual presenter. That woman. That I never remember her name. I don't really remember anyone's name. There's nothing against her, I just don't remember anyone's bloody name. Especially at fucking 11 at night. It's bloody midnight now. Yeah, Just Dance 2015. Had a big dance off. It was quite funny when they announced the they said, look, this person got the most amount of points, and her going, oh, I'm so shocked. Oh, fucking staged. It was a staged stage off. A stage dance off. Yeah, because people dancing on the stage, including one of the developers, who very swiftly disappeared into the background and merged with the crowd, quite an Assassin's Creed style, and very easily disappeared into the crowd as the camera took the furthest back shot of the group to completely blur out the developer, because the developer was making a total arse of himself. So usual E3 stuff then. Yeah. The Division. Oh, man. I came up with a phrase while watching that Division story trailer. That was basically what it was. It was a story trailer. It was saying, this is how the... Chicago, isn't it? No, it's not Chicago. Seattle? No, that's something else as well. If it's Chicago, then Ubisoft has a thing about Chicago. Or New York. See all these American big cities blur into one. It could just be some nondescript American city made up. It's all like Far Cry. Yeah. So, they had the Division, where the Division gets its story stuff of, it is a virus, and virus kill people, and people get sad, and looting. And, so it's basically just take The Last of Us and minus the zombies. It looked like just The Last of Us, just different town, and with no zombies, and less greenery. So yeah. I immediately pulled that one because I think I loved The Last of Us. It was great. I absolutely loved it. Should go back. Should go back and actually finish that thing. I got about 10 minutes from the ending and sort of went, okay, I'll do something else now. I came up with a phrase for the Division. Ubisoft, you're free to use this. You get to be the hero as the world slowly dies. Yeah. Because you play as Special Ops Person du Jour with guns and 4-player co-op and enemies and kill them, and you are Hero Man of Secret Spec Ops people. So very Tom Clancy. Yeah. The crew. The one thing the guys they said with the crew is you can drive from sea to shining sea with no loading times. I will put that to the bloody test if I ever get to play it. I'll put it to the test. I will drive from New York to LA, one sitting, straight down. I will put that to the test in one bloody sitting as well. Go from coast to coast, one sitting, just straight direct. Although they said that it was because they had this big sped up thing with the slow moving music and all the sort of stuff, usual Ubisoft driver trailer stuff. And they had all the different areas, the Rockies and things, and they said that it was a 2-hour mission that takes you from Miami to New York, through the Rockies to San Francisco, and then to LA. 2 hours. A usual trip, in actualness, that'll take 3 to 4 days. So, very cut down version of the map, which I can understand, but that takes the fun out of it. Make it like Euro Truck Simulator, something where you have to go from city, something where going from city to city takes more than a day, literally more than a day. And that would be slightly more interesting, because otherwise it's just another driving game. Considering The Getaway did an exact replica of London twice on the PS2, like in 2003-2004, well back then. Doing an exact replica of like America on this fucking tech hardware, it's certainly bloody possible. And they were so a lot more interesting because they're trying to distinguish themselves from Need for Speed, and at the moment they haven't, besides the multiplayer. Really? It just seems like every other bloody driving, like every other arcade driving game. Because even Need for Speed The Run, having had the main plot of that, had you driving from San Francisco to New York via Chicago. And that was, 2008? Just take out the load. It's basically it's that, but taking out the loading times and allowing to mod your car. So it's basically Need for Speed The Run mixed with Need for Speed Underground without loading times. Not necessarily the sum of its parts, but yeah. Again, it would be cynical of me. Then we've got more Assassin's Creed Unity. Of it actually showing quite extended gameplay thing, where it showed what I was concerned about during the other stuff that it was showing off, was that there is no fucking point in the 4-player co-op, simply because the game mechanics or the fighting mechanics haven't changed whatsoever. It's just you stand there with a button pressed down, someone attacks, you press a button, and you kill them. Making there absolutely no fucking point in the 4-player co-op. The 4-player co-op is at least adds some sort of challenge, but with the piss easy combat system, you just stand there and just wait for people to attack. And even with the assassination combo system, you can have a group of 10 people and kill them in one sitting. It's yeah, so Assassin's Creed Unity seems great, and we haven't heard anything about the other one that was going to be Assassin's Creed Comet, which was going to be for the other console, for the previous gen. Is it going to be the same game? Is it just going to be a cut down version of the other one? Because if Comet ends up being just the same game, just with graphical downgrades, there's such piss fit that was. Oh, 1080p in 60 frames. Don't care. Does it play? Is it good? Fine. Don't give a shit. I still play PS1 games. I don't give an absolute arse if it looks like arse. If it's fun, it doesn't matter. So they've just thrown all their eggs into the 1080p, 60 frames per second basket and just... Well, I don't see the fucking point of getting another console at the moment. It doesn't really seem to be much point. So, yay! Yeah, no, shape up. Every single time I think of shape up, is that Ubisoft threw such a huge shit fit over the technology that was in the new gen consoles. Is the whole point of them having a Assassin's Creed Unity and Assassin's Creed Comet, one for the current gen, one for previous gen. And then they fucking make crap like Shape Up, which looked like it's made for the Wii. You threw such a shit fit about saying, oh, you can't make the graphics any better. It looks like it's made for the Wii. You hypocritical fuckshits! Really? Man, really. As soon as I saw that, I just went like, it's a fucking just a fancy ass iToy game. iToy came out in 2002. You're a decade late to this party. Good Christ. Then immediately following that was Valiant Heart, something that actually hit me in the gut. Really? That one. Here in the UK, we're having a big thing for the centenary of the World War One, 100 years. And so there's a big thing. The BBC doing a big documentary series, and there's lots of history programs and stuff going on about World War One, which is quite good. World War One is a quite dramatic event in history that really should be remembered. Even with me, I got tired of World War Two, World War One stuff. I live with this crap, so I'm just totally used to it. But seeing Valiant Heart really did hit me in the gut, and it looks absolutely amazing. That is one game I really hope comes to the PC or just something I have. Because that game I really, 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 really want to play. It's made with the same engine as Rayman. So, that beer is fighting back now. Bloody hell. Yeah, it's a World War One thing that looks absolutely fantastic. It looks like you play as a war dog. As a war dog. It's basically this mixture between an attack dog and a medic dog. It's basically your sort of a sniffer dog, basically. You're a sniffer dog to find people and rescue people. And that final shot in that trailer, I think it was that final shot in that trailer which really, that was the point where it really did hit me in the gut. And yeah, I would say people to look that one up and to find that trailer, because it is brilliant and that game looks absolutely amazing, especially it's very poignant, especially for the time here in the UK, especially for the centenary. So yeah, that looks great. And then we go on to the announcement of Rainbow Six Siege. Going from a game that looks very nice and very great, the Valiant Heart, something that I would really condone for people to get to watch and all that sort of stuff, because I think they were making a TV something with it as well, some historical TV thing. To Rainbow Bloody Six. It looks great. There must be a police thing going on with modern shooters, because you've got Battlefield is going with Battlefield Hardline with the sort of cops and robbers thing, and it looks like Rainbow Six is doing the same. Well, it is Rainbow Six, but yeah, the gameplay they had was a hostage situation where it looked like it was multiplayer, with good guys, bad guys, with hostage situation, basically capture the flag, permadeath, yeah. Yeah. As you can tell, I'm not that much of a fan of Rainbow Six. Rainbow Six looks like every other modern shooter. I stopped giving a rat's ass. It looks fun, but seriously, can we stop with the bloody multiplayer stuff? Multiplayer is nice, yes, but can we actually have like single player story experiences? I'm coming from this as someone who writes semi-regularly. It would be nice to have actual plot, an actual story, an interactive bloody story that we can actually play through and enjoy and actually get some sort of feeling and emotion out of it. No, David Cage, your movie crap. Just make a fucking movie, Mr. Cage. Seriously, your style of interactive game. It's not an interactive game. It's not just a movie game. It's interactive movie. Two different things. Just make a fucking movie, or just make it as a movie rather than using game engines. Makes slightly more sense, Mr. Cage. I'm going slightly incoherent. Oh, good lord, I've gone on for 20 minutes. I really better wrap this up, or this is never going to get put up today. So, yes. Instant reaction is, why multiplayer? Fucking son of a... I don't really like multiplayer. Multiplayer means no story, there's no emotion, and the whole point of video games is to have plot and feels. It was quite funny having one of the developers, I think it was in this one, is, the feels. I think it was in the EA one. The feels. My first instinct was go, no, you are a middle-aged white man. Do not say the feels. Even I can't say, ooh, the feels, without it being slightly sarcastic. So, if you're a game developer, don't fucking say it at all. You just make yourself look like a tit. At least that's the fun thing about the Ubisoft conference. Yeah. For EA, the phrase was cock tease, and for the Ubisoft one is make a tit of yourself. Between the dance offs and the French-American, that was really funny. Having the French-American sort of fitness off. First thing went through my mind was, no, you should make it the French-British one. We have more history with the French, and it's not necessarily that nice. Yeah, actually, yeah, that was one thing that I found that was very interesting with Assassin's Creed. All of the assassins are voiced by English people. The game is set during the French Revolution. I think they must have skipped the French history class, considering we were constantly at war with the French. That is probably the most hilarious thing, is that it's, yes, this is set in France. Why are you using English people? You're friggin' Ubisoft. Your head is in Montreal. French bloody Canada. You can actually use French people for your game that's set in France. It's like every other bloody sentence that was in the real life thing in the other game was in French because you were set in bloody Montreal. Now you're actually in France. You can actually have French people as your bloody game. So why the hell did you pick English people? Of anything, why the fuck did you choose English people? We're English. We don't like the French. Historically, anyway. French are all right. But, well, politically at the moment, the French don't like us. Thanks, Hollande and Cameron, partly. 20 minutes. Okay, wrapping this up. One left. Sony left. In an hour. Good lord. Is this stuff uploaded yet? Or processing? So 1. The Xbox One has only just gone up. The Xbox conference was hours ago. Oh, it's going to be a long night.